audiologist and clinical ear care specialist. I'm also the director and founder of a company called Clearwax, and Clearwax are the manufacturers of the wireless eye clearscope, which is the device that we're using to perform this procedure and at the same time record it. So we have a client here who attended a year ago originally, and a year ago we removed some wax from his left side, which is the ear that we're performing the procedure in right now. And I also discovered last year at the entrance of his ear canal near the base, just very lateral, so near the entrance, there was a widening of the ear canal and a hard piece of keratin, dead skin, and I removed that keratin, but there was some olfactory evidence of infection. When we say olfactory, you can't visualize it, you can smell it. And I so with keratin in the ear canal, when it's hardened, you have to just be careful that it's not a canal cholesteatoma. So I removed that keratin last time, and I sent a letter to the patient's GP to advise that there is a widening of the ear canal near the entrance and there's some dead keratin, and we could just start, so there was some erosion but not a drastic erosion, and it would appear that it was infected as well because I could smell it. So the patient attended again today, reporting of a blocked left ear, and he was also experiencing vertigo. And you can see we removed that plug of keratin, and beyond that there's a lot of pus, a lot of discharge, but just at the base, this widening of the ear canal is really expanded. And so I asked the patient, you would hear through in the video in the background maybe, although I've got it at lower volume, whether the patient had anything from their GP, any onwards referral to ENT, and the patient's not heard anything. You can just see there, it looks really nasty, that does, and it's really eroded the base of the ear canal, and this keratin is rock solid, and there's no way that was being removed today. And it was also recessed, so it's quite deep, that, and it doesn't look very nice. So I've written back to the patient's GP again today as a matter of urgency this time, because it's been over a year and nothing's happened, and unfortunately it would appear that the patient has now got a canal cholesteatoma, so an external auditory cholesteatoma. Cholesteatoma is a collection of dead skin that doesn't migrate out of the ear. It typically happens in the attic region of the eardrum. When your eardrum is sucked in, it's retracted due to a blocked eustachian tube. In the superior posterior quadrants of the top back part of the eardrum, you get where the eardrum sucks inwards, there's a kind of a pocket that develops, and dead skin that sheds gets trapped in that pocket. It doesn't migrate, and dead skin eventually, if it doesn't migrate out of the ear, it becomes infected, and at a typical cholesteatoma you then get a kind of a growth of infection debris that extends into the middle ear. It can cause erosion of the bony ossicles, the three middle ear bones, the mastoid bone, which is the bone behind the ear itself. It can also affect the jawbone, it can affect the facial nerve, so you can get Bell's palsy, which is a drooping on one side of the face. It can also infect the temporal bone, which is the bone just below your skull, which can then infect the meninges, which is a fluid layer coating the brain, leading to meningitis. So it can be very, very serious, lead to some serious complications. Less common is a canal cholesteatoma. So in the same way, skin migrates out of the ear canal. In some people it can get trapped within a part or region of the ear canal. So if you've got an anatomical defect of the ear canal, that could be genetical, so a widening or a trench or a cave within the ear canal. Dead skin can get trapped in that cave and it no longer migrates, and eventually that skin will get infected or harden, and it can then start eroding the bone and the flesh of the ear canal as opposed to the eardrum and the middle ear. In terms of complications and seriousness, it's very similar, so this needs to be treated ASAP. So what I'm doing now, just with a fine end, I'm just mopping up around the edge. This would need to be, and I've given the patient some private details of some local ENT consultants, but that is not going to be removed with the patient away. Very, very unlikely. They may be able to remove this using local anaesthetic, but I feel this will have to be removed under a general anaesthetic, and a CT scan will have to be performed to see the damage that's been caused below this what we can see on the screen, because we just don't know how deep this is, whether it's infected, as I said, the jaw bone, the mastoid bone, the temporal bone. So after a CT scan, I would imagine this will be a procedure under general anaesthetic. They'll have to remove this keratin. It's rock solid. It's just not going to be something they're going to be removing in an outpatient's appointment. It's just impossible. And once it's been removed, they're going to have to patch this up, I feel. So get some fatty tissue graft and just plug this hole to kind of get rid of the erosion, the craters, to allow skin to naturally migrate out of the ear. So the patient's hearing completely restored, so that was obviously good news. So at least he could go away hearing again today. I've advised him not to use any water in the ear as well. That's important, and you can see the eardrum's nice and healthy. I hope you enjoyed that video, guys. Sorry it's a quick one. I know recently I've been putting quite a few longer videos up, but I wanted to post that because I think it is a very interesting case. Have a great weekend, and I'll speak